So what we're doing, the 75 Hard Challenge by Andy Frisella. I've done it. I've completed it once. The reason I like the 75 Hard Challenge, because it's so f***ing hard. Going to be joining me in the gym, which is a new experience for him.
I mean, so I'm going to be out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. So what can you expect? A lot of on location. We're speaking into the phone, a video, a thought. And then if there's questions that come up, we'll address that.
God.
75 hard.
Yeah.
75 days of just getting after it, focusing on self, laying the foundation for a better life. Welcome to GVSV.
Join us on this adventure. My name is Alex.
My name's Carl.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Do you want to intro us, or should I?
You should. You're the intro guy.
Welcome back to GVSV. This is Alex and Carl. And today,
Back in the studio, baby.
I think this is the first time we've been here in 3 months.
In 75 days.
Well, no. Because like before 75
Yeah.
started, we probably, I think the last thing we recorded was Arcane.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Good old Arcane.
Good old Arcane. That was back in February.
It's been a bit of a break from React content.
It has.
We're busy getting swole.
I know. Okay, let's jump right into it.
Jump right in.
I was looking at my progress pics the other day, and I looked at the day one versus, I think it was like day 70 something, and I was surprised.
Consistency and effort always tells. You can't hide it. You cannot hide when you haven't put in the work. People want the results. They don't want to do the work.
Well, I mean,
and this is just a truncated timetable, right?
yes.
2.5 months.
Yeah. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, I would love to keep going. Like, no, I mean, we are going to keep going, but like, I was surprised. I've been surprised with not just how I've physically changed, but like all the other secondary tells, like, the longer belt that I bought no longer fits. Like
Those are the true measures of body composition.
Yeah.
All right. So the 75 hard isn't just about getting lean, getting to shape. That is an enormous byproduct, and that's what attracts the most people.
Yeah.
It's about building habits. All right. It's about being accountable. It's about ruthless consistency.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm sure during some point in this video, you're going to do before and after of you and I.
Yeah. I mean, we could do it right now.
Right now, right?
Right now.
Um,
And I mean, obviously, I mean, we want to keep going after this.
Well, there's a choice.
Yeah.
And we're choosing to keep our foot on the gas. Now, maybe not the 2, for yours truly 3 a day. And I really don't suggest like doing 3 days for a lot of people. And they weren't balls out every workout.
Yeah.
I respond well to volume.
Yeah.
And it's not something I can continue to do, indefinitely.
Yeah.
Getting up there in age. But in a short sprint, your body's going to react to that chaos really well.
Yeah.
It requires you to have had, for me, decades of experience in the gym, that time paid into the body. Your muscles do have a memory, and that's a lever I absolutely pull. And then you're going to have your nutrition on target, protein heavy.
Yeah.
Aid in recovery, supplementation on target, creatine. Again, recovery, sleep.
We did our best.
Yeah, no, look, it's not like we spent weeks sleep deprived. Maybe, 96 hours here and there where it's hard catching up sometimes.
Yeah.
But you have all these other habits, the reading,
Yeah.
the progress pictures, the water, and these things that people just don't slow down to do, especially the reading.
Well, okay. So for me, honestly, the reading was the hardest part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because.
The reading for me was obviously the easiest part.
Yeah.
Because I'm a voracious reader. I love reading.
I know. It's not that I don't like reading. It's just that I'm a very slow reader.
No, I get that.
And then it feels like it takes too much of my day.
I understand that too.
But all that aside, I feel like the thing that benefited me the most was just having you there with me. Because with your, 30 plus years experience in the gym, but me with my little to no experience in the gym and having you there to just effectively point out like, hey, you need to like change your form. You need to, lean in or pull back or pull,
There's a lot of coaching cues
yeah.
that you're not going to get from watching a YouTube channel. Having somebody experience there watching you as you're going through these various movements, they're going to be able to give you coaching cues, how to just slight things that make all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
And really, that's what fitness comes down to. And I mean fitness in the broadest strokes possible, not powerlifting, not bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Not tackle strength or strength and conditioning, but writ large, wide stroke fitness. It's very nuanced. There are some things that are very simple, right? But I said to you before, simplicity is just complexity resolved.
Okay.
All right. So the complex biomechanics of lifting something, when you think about it,
Yeah.
right, it's a very complex thing, right? But what's like my job as a coach? To boil that down to something simple.
Yeah.
So simplicity is complexity resolved.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. So your real first experience in a big box gym, 7 days a week, reading time
For 2.5 months.
for 2.5 months. You've seen all types of gym goers.
Yeah.
You've been to 2 different gyms. You've been to
Two different types of gyms.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we have a big box gym, not mentioning names. All right. And then we have more of a focused gym where more serious folks go.
Yeah. Which this morning was such a key tell because halfway through our workout, the music stopped. And I realized immediately that it was almost eerily quiet in there.
Other than people working out.
Other than people working out. Because I know that if the music at the big box gym stopped, that place would sound like a cafeteria.
100%.
Like-
but we've had that happen where
Yeah.
it stopped and it's like you hear all the chit-chatting going
Oh,
on.
yeah.
It's just ridiculous. And look, there's an absolute place for big box gyms, and I love big box gyms for accessibility.
Yes.
I'd much rather you all go to a big box gym and get that exercise in, get that movement in. There's big box gyms, right? They're like $9-10 a month.
Yeah.
It's really it's like don't drink 2 Starbucks and you're there for the month.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, like, I mean, I know that when you're out of town and it's just me by myself, I am going to go to our big box gym membership because, like, the amenities alone.
Yes, I love the focused gym.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I just think the equipment selection is superior.
Yes.
The training environment is superior.
This morning you looked like a kid in a candy shop.
Because
Like
it is like for me, like, oh, how can I tweak this movement to really target what I'm looking to target today?
And I was so surprised because like there were so many different like attachments and grips that you just like pulled out and you tried this one, you tried that one, you tried the next one.
Well, because the big box gym doesn't have any of those.
No, you're right.
And I was like, okay, I understand the biomechanics of this. What's the application like?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I like this, but I don't like this about it.
Yeah.
So it again, kid in a candy store. That is what I love.
Yeah.
All right. right? And I look at working out and exercising like work for me
Yeah.
because it is, but it's work that I love. All right.
Well, I mean, I think that's a good.
Yeah. The day job is how I pay the bills.
Yeah, of course.
Day one performance has been around for a little bit, not a whole lot.
Yeah. But for anyone that doesn't know.
So I started day. So let's take it back.
Yeah.
I've been in and out of the gym since I was 12.
Yes.
Okay, I'm about to be 45.
Yes.
When I got into high school sports, the gym became a serious thing, and maintained a serious thing through my entire Marine Corps career. I've never spent a really significant time away from it, but I've been obese several times
Yes.
because as easily as I pack on muscle, I will pack on fat. Right, and if I'm just beer, wings, and pizza, which are my favorite vehicles for obesity, it will happen.
Yeah.
And it'll happen quickly.
Yeah.
All right, because I love wings. I love pizza.
You
and
have,
a good cold beer with them. Boy, don't get me started. You can have all the mozzarella. I don't care. All the garlic nuts. I don't care. A good wing, man. I'm eating a pile of them things.
listen. You've taken me out for wings plenty of times, and I sit there and I'm just like, oh, I have never tried this before. I love this.
I am as much bougie food that I craft and cook at home meticulously. What I love to eat by myself, wings. Like a wing connoisseur. I know exactly how I like my wings.
Yeah.
My mouth is watering right now because I haven't had wings in 3 months. But so COVID happened.
Yes.
Got furloughed from the day gig.
Yep.
And I realized in the industry that I thought was bulletproof that I couldn't allow that to be the only thing.
Yeah.
All right. Being just an employee was no longer an option.
Yeah.
What am I good at? What am I passionate about? Fitness.
Yes.
So when most folks get fired or furloughed during COVID, what did they do?
I mean, they stayed home.
Well, not just to stay home. They started boozing it up.
Yes.
I had my wife. She went out. She bought a 6-pack of Coronas because I thought it'd be funny to toast my lack of employment for the coronavirus by drinking a Corona.
Yes.
And I worked on my certification the next day. I started getting through classes for certification.
Yes.
Since then, I've been certified as a personal trainer through ISSA,
Yeah.
sports nutrition through ISSA, nutrition and healthy living through Cornell University, and I've done some life coaching as well. I've done some leadership seminars as well. It is what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
How can I help people be better? We all know what we're truly capable of. It's in the back of our heads, even if we're talking nasty to ourselves. We know that we're better than what we're allowing ourselves to be. Day one performance does not coddle.
Yeah.
It does not kowtow. It does not shrink away. It's accountability, savage accountability, lovingly savage accountability. And you, myself, and my wife kind of adopted, not the day one performance model, but the day one performance ethos
Yeah.
of constant effort, unrelentless accountability to the goal, and then some grace when things really felt hard.
Yeah.
And I think the grace is a really important part of any hard endeavor, because there's going to be plenty of times where you're doubting yourself and not wanting to do it. And it's easy for us to say in that moment of vulnerability that we start tail spinning because, we don't want to do this. And then in your head, you're bitch made, right?
Yeah.
It's that little whiny voice, all right, in your head. And now you start hating on yourself for even thinking about how hard this is. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. All the great things in life are worth it. They're hard. They're a struggle. There is no change, no positive thing that comes in life from ease.
Yeah.
You can't find greatness on a couch. You can't find it sitting in a bag of Doritos.
I mean, I used to say all the time, nothing worth doing comes easy.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So when you look at fitness, all right, it is the ultimate litmus of effort. Right. Your body is a undoubtable receipt of the effort put in.
Yeah.
You can't fake it. You can take all the juice you want and sit on the couch. Guess what? You're going to be with tiny baby boys, all right, fat and juiced up. You're not going to be in shape. You're not. You have to put the effort in.
Yeah.
You have to diet right. You have to recover well. You have to have a training program that's tailored to your goals. It just can't be ad hoc, and it can't be without effort.
Yeah.
You've seen incredible body composition transformation. My wife, who I really feel is the grand winner of it all, right?
You mean for this like 75 hard stretch?
Yeah. 40 plus pounds.
I know. I was, and the thing is, like, even before, like, even halfway through, like, I could tell on her face.
Yeah. 40 plus pounds. She opted for intermittent fasting, which I'm not a fan of, but that's what she wanted. She understood, as I explained to her, how intermittent fasting works. And if you guys want to learn more about that, you can follow where we tell you to follow at the end of this clip. And she understood that she really needed, if she was intermittent fasting, that it was going to be a caloric restriction, and that she really needed to pay attention to her protein.
Yeah. Or
she was just going to lose a bunch of lean tissue.
Yeah.
Which would negate all the work she's doing in the gym.
Well, she would just be wasting.
Yeah, you'd be wasting. But she's lost a tremendous amount of body fat.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendous. She looks great.
I know.
You look great. I mean, the before and after pictures, people, and this is just 2.5 months. But it's 2.5 months of extremity.
Yes.
It's 100% compliance. I preach the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
80 on plan, 20 off. All right? You slip here, you can have your donut here, you can have your croissant here, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But 80% of the time, you're locked in.
Yeah.
The closer you get to 100% compliance, the more, the better your results will be.
Yeah.
But also the likelihood of you spectacularly coming off the wagon because it becomes less and less sustainable the closer you get to 100. So for some people, it might start off at like 60% on, 40% off. That's a huge change.
Yeah.
Right? Because they were 0% on.
Yes.
All right. All of a sudden, they just jumped to 60% on. Because 50-50 doesn't work. That's maintenance. We can't have that.
Yeah.
We need to have at least 60% on program.
And I guess for somebody who's starting off from 0, trying to jump all the way up to like 80 or 100 is just, it's going to set them back.
Yeah, you have to see. A lot of people can get really excited about the thing and do it for like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah,
at 100%.
Yes,
fully on the gas.
Yes,
all right. They have that day one energy. That's why the name of the company.
I know.
You get super excited about something. It's your first day in the gym. You got your new gear on.
It's New Year's Day.
Exactly. You got your new shaker bottle. You got your new pre-workout. You got new AirPods. You're ready to rock, boy.
My new playlist.
Exactly. You are so stoked up on that day one energy.
Yes.
What I try to teach is how to extract that energy every day. So every day is just a repeat of your day one. They can do that for about 2-3 weeks.
Yes.
And then they burn out because they didn't set a goal. They're just going to, writ large, get in shape. All right. Oh, I'm just going to get in shape. It's going to be great. I'm going to be ready for the summer in just a few months.
Yeah.
All right. Could we have had more dramatic, a more dramatic recompositioning of our body? Yes.
You mean in the last 2.5 months?
Yes.
I mean,
But-
if,
but-
if,
but-
if we starved ourselves,
Exactly. If we went into what's called a cut,
yeah,
all right, our calories would have been somewhere around 1,900 calories. All right. And again, mostly all protein.
yeah,
All right. But we would have lost a significant amount of lean tissue along with that weight.
yes,
So I didn't lose a ton of weight.
yeah.
all.
But you've recomped
Yeah,
ridiculously.
but that's the point, right? I've held on to the muscle that was underneath the fat.
yeah,
Now that I'm working out, your muscles are full. Creatine doing its job,
Yeah.
bringing the water into the muscles. You look larger. You are larger. All right. And your body fat's coming off because you're putting more lean tissue on. You can't do that at an extreme deficit.
yes.
We're at a slight deficit. Okay. We're not even at maintenance, I promise you.
Oh yeah,
All right. But we did this because we have to come out of this in a way that's sustainable, right? Where we, at the last day, we go have our pizza, we go have our wings and whatnot. Maybe not because that's a lot of grease in one shot and you might feel sluggish the next day.
yeah,
But showing up to the gym, 6 days a week at least, and that's for me.
I like how 75 hard is literally gonna finish 2 days before my birthday.
Exactly, right? We planned it that way.
No,
But here's the thing, right? If you're doing nothing right now, 2-3 times a week,
yeah.
get in the gym, pick up some weight, move your butt,
Well, I mean,
take a walk.
Well, yes. I remember when you started off as my personal trainer 2-3 years. No, God, no. It's going on 3-4 years now. But I just remember how persistent you were at first to just tell me, hey, it doesn't matter what you do. Just go.
Yep.
Just go. Even if you just do one exercise, just let that be the thing that you do. Just go.
Yeah.
Because the alternative was doing nothing.
If you're doing nothing, you're not making any gains.
Exactly.
All right. But I think what you saw, people like, oh, he's been his trainer for years and he's not hit his goal, or he has hit his goals, but people expect when you're with a trainer for a long time that there's substantial differences. You were working by yourself versus working with someone right next to you. That's a dramatic difference.
That's a dramatic difference, but even let's take a step before that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is that I think the biggest lever that you pulled in my life as my personal trainer was to reevaluate my diet.
Yeah.
Because for me, and all of my inconsistencies with food throughout my entire life, I oftentimes, the lever that I would pull would be, oh, I want to lose weight. I stop eating.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is that okay, fine. I lost weight, but I waste to the point that I'm skin and bones.
Yes.
And when we started training, and the first thing that you made me aware of was you need to eat. It's not just about
It's a non-negotiable.
exactly.
All right. We use food to recover, to repair. When you start using food to lose weight, in a sense that you're wasting, there's a relationship with food that I was addressing.
Yeah.
They're now considering in the scientific community your largest metabolic muscle organ to be your skeletal muscle.
Okay.
So the more lean tissue you have versus body fat that you have, the higher your basal metabolic rate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's just a function of muscles requiring a lot more energy to move around and maintain.
Yeah.
To maintain a certain level of muscle mass, you need more protein to keep your body from scavenging the amino acids from your muscle.
Yeah.
All right. What does that mean? If you're taking in a higher amount of protein, all right, you're going to be satiated a lot more, a lot longer. All right. You're going to have a thermic response. We were talking the other day. For every 100 calories of protein, on average, your body is using 25 calories in digestion.
Yes.
Fat is 0 to 3 calories for every 100.
Yes.
Carbohydrates is around 4 or 5 calories for every 100 calories. Okay. So when we're pulling on that protein lever, we're doing that with the idea that we want to bring our body fat down. We don't want to bring it down below a threshold, right? Because there's a level of necessary body fat. In men, that's right around 5 to 7.
Yeah.
For women, it's around 12. You start going below that, and your endocrine system starts saying, what's going on here? All right. And then you start to see some hormonal imbalances. The folks who stay super lean all year round, they either have, well, not either. They generally do have chemical assistance, so they're keeping their hormones in check through exogenous hormones. And they don't have to be taking crazy amount of hormones. Just if they keep it in check, they're going to be able to maintain that leanness because they're being able to keep their lean tissue. Or they have something called Graves' disease, which is a wasting disease. Okay. And now they could leverage that by eating really well, maintaining a positive nitrogen balance, and really making sure that the body's not scavenging lean tissue, that's only scavenging adipose tissue. I can't say that word, whatever.
Adipose,
thank you. I keep messing that up, and I'll continue to mess that up, whatever. You see some, sports figures, mainly in physique sports and whatnot, who may or may not have that, and they just stay lean all year round. They're natural.
Interesting.
But let me tell you, every last one of them work their tails off. Work it off. The amount of people not working hard in the gym, who think they're working hard in the gym, is incredible.
Yeah. I
know when we've put in the work and when we're just getting through it. Like, there are days where I go home and I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done.
Today at work, I sat there and all of a sudden, like, my right bicep started cramping on me.
That was because of electrolytes, sir.
You're right. As soon as I started drinking water, I was fine.
Yes. Drink a water, have some electrolytes, eat a banana, get that potassium in you, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
It's my pleasure, man.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping my foot on the gas.
Yeah.
One of my personal favorite of 75 Hard is I get to use 75 Hard as a scapegoat to not drink. Mm-hmm. Now, I have no problems not drinking.
Yeah.
All right. But once people hear you're on 75 Hard, it's never a question. What I do like is society is becoming more and more accepting of people who just don't drink, especially in the veteran community.
Yeah.
And it's been, I've stopped drinking well before 75 Hard started. And I just don't see myself going back to the regular recreational drinking that I was doing. I wasn't drinking every day or even every weekend.
Yeah.
But like on vacation, bourbon flows really well. And I'm going on vacation at the end of this month.
Yes.
And I already told my mom, don't bother buying a bottle. With Day One Performance 2.0 on the horizon, I'm really, really focused on making sure that people understand that I'm putting the principles to work.
Of course.
All right. We've seen trainers by now, the both of us, who don't look like they do anything other than go through the doors in the gym. Okay. So I don't want people to think that the person who has founded Day One Performance is slacking.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask anything of somebody that I'm not willing to do myself. Hell, I even went vegetarian for 3 months to better understand vegetarian clients.
What did you learn?
I learned that it sucks. Not that it
Yeah,
sucks. Like there's plenty of really
it's just difficult.
palatable vegetarian foods. There's far too much processed foods in the health end of vegetarianism that are geared for active people. There's far too much of the fake meat stuff going on.
Yeah.
All right. The most appealing thing about the vegetarian diet is the lack of processed foods.
Yeah.
It should be, but more and more processed foods have been making their way in to the vegetarian diet. It is difficult. It is difficult for vegetarians, not impossible, but difficult for vegetarians and vegans to get enough high quality, highly bioavailable protein in their diet. And that's necessary.
Yeah.
It's not a question. It's not up for discussion. All right. It is a necessary macronutrient. It is the most necessary macronutrient. It's no more necessary than carbohydrates. It's more necessary than fats.
Yeah.
But it can't be unbalanced. So I don't look at eating styles as good or bad. They're either optimal or suboptimal. Carnivore, suboptimal. I'm going to get heat all day. Carnivore, suboptimal. Vegetarian, vegan, suboptimal. Why? Because these are our survival mechanisms that people have turned into a lifestyle. Right? We are meant to sustain ourselves over a variety of material. All right? And optimally, you want proteins, ideally from lean animal sources, but if not, there are quality protein sources that come from vegetables. You just got to be very cognizant of what you're doing. All right. But I made a decision just to stay the course.
Yeah.
And there was plenty of times, especially recently, I was like, maybe I'll go on a mini cut. And now I'm thinking about, I'm looking at my progress pictures too, and I'm saying, you know what? Stay the course.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah.
It's working. You're not starving. I get hungry. Like right now, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Sometimes before bed, I'll get hungry. What I do like to do is like protein and water. That I go before bed. Really feed the body while I'm sleeping. Really, I'm trying to index hard on recovery.
Yeah.
Super hard. All right. Anyway. So
No. I mean, we can just transition right out of that conversation as well. Like,
so we got Day One Performance 2.0.
yes.
Coming out. Don't have a lot of waypoints to tell people.
No, but just as far as like where they can find.
Well, on Instagram,
Yeah.
we're at day.1.performance.
Yeah.
All right. And the actual handle is Day One Performance.
No, but
Day One Performance on Facebook.
yeah.
Day One Performance on Twitter. Not super active on Twitter. We're got a campaign going for Men's Mental Health Month of June.
Yeah.
We have some content that we're doing ad hoc as it comes up. We're going to be. You can find us at the Spartan Race this fall, and that's going to be in upstate New York.
Okay.
That's going to be, and you're joining the Day One Performance team.
Yes, I am.
All right, you're going to be taking some of the stuff that really bogs me down off my plate.
Which, I mean, I feel like the last year or the last, however long we've been doing this YouTube channel has helped prepare me to do a lot of that type of content creation or editing that you need.
Yeah, because for, like, I got burnt out, man.
I know.
Because I was doing
By yourself.
by myself, and I don't really love social media. I know it could be an enormous force for good if people would treat it as a force for good, and I hope Day One is a force for good, a net positive for folks. We're not gonna be for everybody.
Yeah,
we're not.
I know.
We're not. But there is a warrior in everybody.
Yes.
Now, whether or not they know it, that's not a me problem, right? But it's not just the athletes, the LEOs, the first responders. the active duty folks, the veterans. You know, it is the moms and dads with, full-time jobs who just want a training environment or training culture that is a culture of high amount of accountability.
Yeah.
Who people just want to get after it, who be their best. And, I have a T-shirt that says, "Only you could prevent dad bods." There's a new trend going on right now where people are trying to shift what a dad bod means. Okay. And they use a picture of the off-season Mr. Olympia,
Okay.
Chris Bumstead.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's a dad bod. And I'm like, what? He's like 240 pounds of muscle. Are you kidding me? Since he's not ripped to the gills, that's a dad bod. And they didn't know that the guy's like 4-time Mr. Olympia.
Yes.
Classic physique. They would call Arnold Schwarzenegger in his off season a dad bod. That's what they're trying to slant that towards.
But that's the thing, though. Like, I feel like the male ideal of what is fit has just hyper accelerated in this direction of just like perfectly cut bodies.
No, not all of a sudden.
No, well, I'm
Look at our cartoons. He-Man, all right, Thundercats, G.I. Joe.
You're right.
All of them. If they're real people, every steroid known to man would be needed. Right? We talk about, inaccessible beauty standards for women. All right? They could get surgery for that.
I know.
We have to take life-threatening for it. All the comic books.
I know. Speaking of comic books,
I'm not going to tongue the heat, but that's also the dang on truth.
No, but the thing is that like I keep seeing this one meme that keeps popping up where they have this side by side of Hugh Jackman back in X-Men 1 back in 2000, like shirtless, and then they have like Hugh Jackman in like Deadpool Wolverine shirtless, and the amount that his body has changed over the last 20 years, where it was like, 20 years ago we looked at that and we were like, oh look, he's in shape, and then like we look at somebody with his body 20 years ago now and we're like, dad bod.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I hate dad bod. I hate the idea of dad bod. I know that there are people who like the idea of dad bod, and I think it's a doggone excuse.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an excuse to not try hard. Look, all right, if you and I could get into the gym with all the other things that we have going on, you'd have to make a very compelling argument for me to not have to find time for you to go out and walk.
Yes.
Watch what you eat.
Yes.
I mean,
and I will say that like these last 2.5 months were a huge shift for me, simply because, from starting my new job and then pivoting from that to this YouTube channel.
mm-hmm.
And then like I could tell that as soon as being here and doing this became my priority, like my health was just suffering.
Yes.
And I think you saw that clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And when we decided that we were going to take on the 75-day challenge, 75 hard challenge, all of a sudden I refocused on myself, took a slight step back from the YouTube channel, but in doing so, I can't remember the last time I felt this good.
And that's the key thing, right? When you start working on yourself, and I'm not saying you're going to step on stage for the Mr. Olympia,
Yeah.
but you constantly move in love with yourself and for yourself. Now, I'm not saying fitness needs to be your craft, right? But you have one body, you have one life, and life goes quick.
Yeah.
Life goes super quick.
I mean, these last 30 years have gone quick.
Right? So why not spend some of that time loving yourself so that you could show up as your best self? And I cannot believe, and I won't believe, that your best self is somebody who needs to be tied to oxygen because you can't breathe, because you're so heavy. I think that there is a path for everyone to really buck this trend where we're okay being sick.
Yeah.
The country's very sick right now.
Yeah.
and this has nothing to do with politics. It's just look at the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Obesity is nearly 47-48%, right? If you take away obesity and just overweight people, okay, medically overweight people, you're like 67%, something like that.
Yeah.
It's not good. Okay. We eat more processed foods than we eat whole foods. Okay. We don't have a healthcare system. We have an illness management system. Doctors don't ever look to try to do preventative stuff. And I'm sure there's some good doctors out there, but how do we treat the symptom but not the cause?
Yes.
Let's push this pill. Take this, take that, take that. How about lifestyle change first, my guy? But that's what we're about.
Yeah.
We're about helping folks find that groove where if they're not in love with themselves, they can find that love.
Yeah.
And they can be fully supported. I envision one day that Day One Performance will have a training facility where all sorts of people are there. From the folks who are, just getting into combat sports, or, first time in the gym, or have been in the gym their entire lives and they're competitive in whatever their endeavor is, to the military guys, pipe hitters, the law enforcement officers trying to make sure they are fit enough for the job so they can come home to their families, to the firefighters to make sure they're the same. I mean, it's a place for everybody to celebrate everybody else's pathway to their own best selves. And I think the greatest lever for that is being able to move effortlessly.
Yeah.
So
I think that, as you said earlier, all of your socials, as far as everybody who wants to follow Carl's journey into...
It's not my journey. It's our journey. Okay? It's
But I mean, if you enjoyed this content that we put out for the last 2-3 months, and you want to keep seeing where we go forward from here.
Yeah, it's going to be happening with or without them.
Yeah.
But if you guys are interested, follow Day One Performance. We're putting content out there that has to do with the full gambit, whether it's mental health or like I say, mental strength.
Yeah.
Physical, nutrition. We're there for it, and I'm really excited about the future and what I really just want to make a dent in those numbers, man.
Yeah.
I want people to be able to play with their kids, their grandkids. I want them to be able to live to old age and not need assistance. When I see like the super old veterans that they just can't move around because they didn't really take care of themselves or they got super bogged down with life. And they're not really old, but they're old enough where they're not engaged.
Yeah.
And if anything I can do to prevent that happening with people, I'm all in.
Of course.
I'm all in. So it is a labor of love.
Yeah.
I do love people. And I want to see people do their very best, but I'm not going to sit there and lie to them and say, hey, you know what? That bag of Cheetos is the best thing for you. I'm not going to lie. It's like, maybe less Cheetos, more apples.
Yeah.
All right. So.
And with respect to this YouTube channel going forward,
more fun stuff.
Sorry for anybody that's still waiting on the rest of Arcane. We have that in the can. The rest of season 1 is going to come out after this. After we finish this episode, the rest of Arcane is going to come out weekly. And then from there, we transition over to
Stranger Things.
So we just saw the trailer for the finale, and we decided that if we want...
We got to do stuff that we're super excited about doing.
Yes.
And I think that's what comes to it. I think that what people really, really, really hooked onto with the first thing we did, Heartstopper. I don't know why I keep thinking Heartbreaker. It's a DC song. It's great. No, I'm sorry, Led Zeppelin. Is the fact that eventually we both enjoyed it very much.
Yes.
All right. And Stranger Things, I think it's going to be something that we're going to enjoy. And the people that enjoy that are going to enjoy us enjoying it. And that's what it is. All right. It's that cathartic relationship. Like, yes, that relatable relationship.
Yes.
Where, hey, the people I like the thing I like.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I'm super stoked about that.
Yes.
I'm super happy to be back in the studio. I missed this place.
Yes.
And yeah, we took on a lot more on our plates with revamping Day One Performance, but I think there's plenty of overlap where we're just gonna rock and roll, bro.
Exactly. And listen, there's no one, whatever it is, whether it's this, whether it's Day One, whatever comes forward, there's no one I'd want to do it with more than you.
We're gonna rock and roll, man. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
And you guys are gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be a fun time.
So, if you could help us do all those YouTube things.
Wait. So, unlike our mad dash on Heartstopper to try to catch up,
Oh, yeah.
okay, we are going to be mad dashing here, getting things in the can. We're not going to be mad dashing in production. We don't want to lose production value.
True.
But also, we don't want to burn out. All right, and our mental health is suffer. Because, look, I'm going to keep pouring gasoline on the fire with fitness, with myself and this guy. That requires recovery and sleep.
Yes.
And sleep is the absolute biggest lever to recovery outside of nutrition.
Yes.
So that means our production schedule is set for right now.
Yes.
1 episode a week.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which is effectively what it has been for the last 75 days.
Yes, but this is different. The React content.
No.
Longer.
But I mean, like,
yeah.
As soon as we took on 75 hard, I realized I couldn't do 2 episodes a week.
That's fine.
I know.
That's fine. And look, so I'm not saying it's always just going to be, 1 episode. Maybe Daddy Alex over here will, sprinkle in a little goodness.
A little surprise here and there.
A little surprise here and there. Keep you on your toes.
Who knows? There might be another cell phone, just blog where the two of us just talk to the camera because we miss it.
So keep your eyes peeled. We're going to be doing some fun stuff. We're going to be catching the 5th and final season of Stranger Things.
At the end of this year.
Yeah.
At the end of this year.
It's going to be a wild trip.
It will.
So, all right. So
that's
now tell them to do the things.
Do the things.
Do the things.
Do the things.
The things, the social media things, the YouTube things.
Yeah, I know.
Well, tell them, not me. I know them.
So if you could help us do all those YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. The boys at GVSV are having a good old time.
Join this adventure. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
See ya.
Wait. Oh, yeah. You saw that. Steph, next to me. Am I still in train? Just getting up on that. Okay, we're done.